Should you rent the house out instead of selling it? Hey, this is Brad from probateresource.com. At Probate Resource, we're a real estate solutions company specializing in the world of probate and inheritance properties. I'm an active real estate investor. I've been buying houses for a number of years, and I'm also a licensed real estate agent in the state of Georgia. But I actually buy houses all over the country, and I have a fantastic network of real estate agents that I work with throughout the country to help you sell your inherited property. But this video here can really apply to not just inherited and probate properties, it can apply to everything. And the question is, should you rent the house out instead of selling the house? And the answer to that is it depends. And I'm going to start out with to say that not every property makes a good rental property, okay? So just because you can rent it out doesn't mean you should rent it out, okay? And why I say that is because you have to look at your ROI, your return on investment. If you're looking at a rental, you're typically going to look at what's called your cash on cash return. And also you can look at what's called an IRR, an internal rate of return, which is going to take into account a set hold time and what is your cash flow that you're going to make every month, and then what could you sell the property for. So it'll factor in your equity and your cash flow, combine them together in a set period of time, and that's your potential IRR, your internal rate of return. You can do a calculation for that in Excel. I'm not going to cover that in this video. Okay, if you're thinking about renting the house out, you need to think about that, because I see this, people make this mistake very often where they rent a house out, and at the end of the day, when you do the math, their rate of return on their money is like 3% or 2%. And you'd be better off just sticking that money in a savings account than you would going through the hassle of renting it out. So you have to think like an investor and analyze that deal and figure out whether the numbers make sense. Now, some people just want to rent a house out because they see that maybe they're in a gentrifying area and eventually in the next few years they are going to sell the property, and renting it is just sort of a stopgap until you get to that point. Is that a good strategy? Yeah, absolutely. It just depends on the property. Some properties do appreciate very well. In fact, I've got one of my rentals that's coming vacant here at the end of the month. My tenant of many years is moving out, and I was just looking at the property values in the neighborhood, and this property has like skyrocketed in value, and I'm contemplating selling the property because I could walk away with like over $100,000 in my pocket after my mortgage is paid off. So I'm like, well, maybe I should sell this thing, you know? But at the same token, rents have gone up, so I could just re-rent it out and make more money in rent every month. So I'm sort of weighing those options right now. That's the numbers, right? Well, if it looks good on paper, just because it looks good on paper doesn't mean it's good in real life. So you also need to think about all of the hassles that come from renting a property out. You're going to have to deal with the tenants, right? You might get a good tenant, you might get a pain in the butt tenant. You're going to have to deal with maintenance and repairs. Are you capable of doing the maintenance or repairs yourself? Do you have a network of contractors that you can refer this work out to do the maintenance and repairs? How old is the house? If this house is very old and a lot of the things are old, then plan on doing a lot of maintenance or repairs. For example, when we buy a property to keep as a rental property up front, we typically will go ahead and like replace a lot of things. That way we sort of buy ourselves time where we're not doing a lot of major repair work over the next few years, because right off the bat, as soon as we buy it, we're replacing the roof, HVAC, we're replacing the water heater, we're replacing, GFI outlets. We're going through the house and sort of replacing all the things that typically break over the course of the next few years. That way they're all brand new, and at least that buys us 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of a lot less maintenance, because all those things were new when we first put them in. So if you have an old house, you need to think about that. What are all the things that could break in the house? Or what are the things that are nearing their end of life? And you better have the money set aside to replace those things if they do break, because the worst thing that could happen is you could get, 2 years down the road, you have a tenant in the house and the air conditioner breaks, and now all of a sudden you're faced with an $8,000 repair bill to replace an HVAC unit. Do you have $8,000 to do it? Well, you better be setting the money aside. So think about that as well. Think about just managing the tenants. Do you have the patience? Are you the type of person that has the patience to manage a tenant? Because if you let tenants walk all over you, they will walk all over you. You have to be a little hard-nosed with tenants, otherwise they will walk all over you, especially the professional tenants out there. There are people out there that are professional tenants, and they know how to take advantage of a landlord. And if you let them walk all over you, they're going to walk all over you. So if you're sort of a pushover kind of person, and you're a really nice guy or nice gal or whatever, maybe it's probably not best for you to be a landlord. So you need to think about that as well. We talked about the numbers. We talked about whether you want to be a landlord or not. And we talked about the maintenance and repairs. Those are the main big things as to, should we rent this house out or should we sell it? Also, in the case of, because obviously I do probate and inheritance properties, you might be dealing with other heirs in the estate. What do the other heirs want to do? Did they want to rent it out? Or do they want their money right now? You need to have that conversation, right? Because if they are expecting you to sell this house and get their money out right now, they might get a little upset when you decide to rent this house out for the next 3 years. Even though you could probably make more money off of it 3 years from now, they might be upset because they had an expectation that you were going to sell the property today and they were going to make some money here in the next couple months, right? So think about that as well. All right, I hope that helped give you a little bit of insight into whether you should sell a property or whether you should rent it out. If it has helped you and maybe you decided that you just want to sell the property, we'd be happy to make you an offer on that property. We buy houses for cash, quick closings, we pay cash, no BS. We make it as easy as possible. I call it the easy button, right? So we give you the easy button for the real estate. Or if you want to go the traditional route and you want to list that property for sale on the open market, we can help you out with that as well, because I'm a licensed real estate agent in Georgia, and then I have a team of agents that I work with all over the country that we can refer you to if you're not here in Georgia. We'd be happy to help you out with your house. So if you want to click on the link below in the description, that will take you to our website. On our website, there's a form there. You can fill out that form, or you can just pick up the phone and call the phone number there on the website. A member of our team will be with you ASAP. We'd be happy to help you out with your property. So thanks again for checking out this video. I'm Brad with probateresource.com. Hope you have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.